Welcome to our study on the house of Ahab. I'm Dick Baker, your teacher, and today we have a special sidebar lesson on Jezebel, 10 things to know about her. And so we are doing short bios on these individuals as we go and meet them in Scripture and as the plot continues. Okay, so let's get underway. This is the chart we continue to use, and of course, you know Jezebel is married to King Ahab, and that is the northern kingdom. You can see that is also called Israel, and you can go about 2/3 down and see Ahab. All right, let's get right, though, about Jezebel. Jezebel was a Phoenician princess, right? So what's the history on that? She was not from Israel. She was the daughter of Ethbaal, king of the Zidonians, which is Phoenician. These were people of the water. They were on the Mediterranean Sea. It was a region known for worshiping Baal and Asherah. Elsewhere in the Bible, you read Asherah is Ashtaroth. It's a woman. And if you remember hearing about the prophets of the grove, or groves, these were prophets to Ashtaroth or Asherah. Her marriage to Ahab, king of Israel, was likely a political alliance. So with each of these points, we have the scripture to back it up. And Ahab, the son of Omri, did evil in the sight of the Lord. He took to wife Jezebel, the daughter of Ethbaal, king of the Zidonians. Now here's a map, and you can see it probably was a marriage of convenience and advantage because they share a border, a large border. You can see Sidon or Zidon, depending on what map you look at. It's the same place. It's all part of the country that's designated as Tyre during this time. Of course, look down into Israel and you see Samaria, and that was the capital. She promoted Baal worship in Israel, and she brought her gods with her. She led King Ahab and much of Israel into Baal worship, building temples and altars for Baal and supporting hundreds of false prophets. That goes into the great Mount Carmel battle of who is the true God, and with Elijah and calling fire down from heaven. He erected an altar for Baal in the temple of Baal that he built in Samaria. That is a mouthful. She ordered the killing of God's prophets. Jezebel didn't just encourage idol worship. She actively sought to destroy the prophets of the Lord, leading a violent campaign to wipe them out. We keep saying that these people, Ahab and Jezebel, were not just the worst leaders, kings and queens over any part of Israel. They are outright evil. Jezebel cut off the prophets of the Lord. She threatened Elijah's life. After Elijah defeated the prophets of Baal at Mount Carmel, Jezebel was furious. She sent a message to Elijah threatening to kill him within 24 hours. Then Jezebel sent a messenger to Elijah saying, "So let the gods do to me, if I make not your life as the life of one of them by tomorrow." Thing was, she didn't get him the next day, but her gods did not, of course, exist, so they wouldn't kill her. We do know that he ran from God. God had a place for him, a safety place, back not far from his home, his original home, but then God would move him around to protect him as the manhunt was on, as armies would go out looking for him. She was behind the death of Naboth. When Ahab wanted Naboth's vineyard and Naboth refused to sell, Jezebel arranged a plan to have him falsely accused and executed so Ahab could take the land. Thou dost now govern the kingdom of Israel. Set Naboth on high among the people, and set 2 men to bear witness against him. So there was the setup. They said he did something wrong and 2 witnesses, and that's all it took. Jezebel's name became a symbol of wickedness. Throughout the history of Scripture, Jezebel's name has come to represent idolatry, false teaching, and rebellion. Even in the New Testament, the church at Thyatira is warned about a false prophetess called Jezebel. Interesting, the name she took. And what she was extremely evil in this church of the book of Revelation. You tolerate that woman, Jezebel, who calls herself a prophetess, and by her teaching misleads my servants. Revelation 2:20, read about that. So this was a copycat of what the real Jezebel was about. I really believe there was a Jezebel in the church at Thyatira. Scripture says that. Did she take this name because of what she was? And it's a good question. She practiced sorcery and witchcraft. The Bible links Jezebel with that witchcraft and sorcery, showing her deep involvement in spiritual rebellion and manipulation. What peace, so long as the whoredoms of thy mother Jezebel and her witchcrafts are so many. She died a violent death, just as Elijah prophesied. Elijah had warned that Jezebel would be eaten by dogs. Years later, Jehu ordered her death. She was thrown from a window, trampled by horses, and her body was devoured by dogs. The dog shall eat Jezebel by the wall of Jezreel, in the Jezreel Valley. They went to bury her, but they found no more than the skull and the feet and the palms of her hands. That's just outright ugly. She died wearing makeup and royal clothes. Before her death, Jezebel painted her face and dressed like a queen. This has been seen as a symbol of pride, defiance, or even an attempt to seduce or intimidate Jehu. When Jehu was come, Jezebel painted her face and tied her head, meaning she'd make up and did her hair and everything, and looked out at a window. Of course, here's the dogs. There she is. Her legacy is a warning against spiritual compromise. Jezebel's life reminds believers of the danger of mixing true worship with idolatry, pride, and control. Her story shows how far someone can go when they reject God's way. Now, I can make this statement now. Ahab never was really in control of the throne or the empire while he was alive. Jezebel ran it. She was evil, and she just pushed and manipulated. Look at Naboth's vineyard, going after Elijah, just so many things. And so I have a poem to finish with you about Jezebel, and the name of it's at the end. Painting your eyes, arranging your hair, as if expecting a lover to climb up your stairs. It's not a lover, but death that climbs, calling your name for the very last time. Daughter of Baal, doesn't your God hear? You pray for deliverance from judgment that's near. The silence of your idol leaves you to wonder. Chariots approach on wheels of thunder. Still defiant, with no tears or remorse, from the window of your temple you see the main force. You curse their God, his servants put to sword. This was your sacrifice for your Canaanite lord. You taunt your captors with jeers of hate, not knowing their God has sealed your fate. They take you to the window, throw you to the ground. Chariots trample flesh and bone, till silence the only sound. Dogs appear, ravenous for man or beast. How ironic that Jezebel was queen of this feast. This comes from Dogs of Jezebel. Well, I hope this has been of help to you. It's just an initial start in our overall study of the house of Ahab. And may God bless you. If I can help in any way, here's my email address. I'll see you for our next session.